Did you know that around 22.7 million people live in Australia? While this country is also home to about 200 million rabbits, that means their number is 10 times more than humans. These rabbits have caused so much destruction in Australia that the government has declared them a destructive species. Where rabbits are considered harmful creatures for Australia, and many failed attempts have been made to get rid of them. On the other hand, China has imported more than 4 million rabbits in the past 30 years. Not to eat them, but to carry out a unique experiment in the Kubuki Desert. And the results shocked the entire world. Welcome once again to Ancientgraphy videos. Viewers, when a desert swallows fertile land and turns it into desert, this process is called desertification. And its biggest victim is the Kubuki Desert in China. There was a time when the Kubuki Desert was expanding at a rate of 500,000 acres per year, meaning every year it was consuming nearly 500,000 acres of land. At that time, China made every possible effort to reduce this rate of desertification. During the 1950s and 1960s, several projects were launched. Sand control stations were built. Trees were planted in the desert. But this sea of sand remained uncontrollable. Then one day, a local entrepreneur named Wang Wenbao changed everything. Wang invested his money in a very unusual idea. He started placing dry shrubs in square patterns across hundreds of acres of desert and planted willow trees in between, also known as bida trees. Willow is a type of tree that can survive without water because its roots go 300 feet deep into the ground to find moisture. This wood is used for making paper and furniture, but only if the tree manages to survive in the desert. In the Kubuki Desert, strong winds scatter the sand. Because of this, the moisture trapped inside also evaporates. And to protect the willow plants from these strong winds, shrubs were placed around them. In the beginning, people used to laugh at Wang, saying, "Look at this crazy man planting trees in a desert." But no one knew about Wang's intentions. Everything went fine for the next 3 years. But then a new problem appeared. The willow trees now needed special care. If they were to be sold to the paper and furniture industry, it was necessary to trim their new branches immediately, so that the main trunk could grow thicker. But doing this in the desert was both difficult and expensive. And this is where the story takes a new turn. This was the point where rabbits entered the scene. Especially Rex rabbits became part of this story. Rex rabbit is a special breed whose fur resembles that of an otter. It is very soft, expensive, and used for luxury clothing. But why were rabbits brought here? Because one small habit of theirs completely changed the ecosystem of the Kubuki Desert. Rex rabbits love to eat the new shoots growing from willow trees. As they kept eating these tender branches, the main trunk of the tree became thicker, which the paper industry bought at high prices. Meaning the rabbits not only ate, but also provided raw material for the paper industry. On one side, the environment, and on the other side, the economy, both started benefiting. But this was only the beginning of the story. As you learned earlier, willow tree roots go 300 feet deep underground. These roots started strengthening the structure of the sand. As a result, during strong winds, the sand no longer blew away, and the moisture inside did not evaporate. Meanwhile, rabbits began to show their real magic. The waste of Rex rabbits, meaning their droppings, started working as fertilizer. In China's zero-waste system, it also became a valuable product. Another thing is that this breed produces a large number of offspring. A single female gives birth to 50 bobbies in a year, meaning their reproduction rate is very high. As the number of rabbits increased, their droppings also increased, making the soil more fertile. Soon the sand turned into farmland, where organic vegetables also began to grow. Another important trait of Rex rabbits also played a major role in this miracle. They can digest grass, but cannot digest its seeds. Because of this, the seeds come out unchanged with their waste, and after some time, grass also began to multiply. So rabbits not only maintained the willow trees, but also helped grow grass, and eventually their fur was sold at high prices. This process turned into a self-sustaining cycle. Rabbits literally started turning the desert green. After the success of this experiment, Wang did not stop here. He rented 100 bulldozers and began leveling the sand dunes. He filled pits, flattened the land, and started planting willow trees there as well. During this time, local people were encouraged to raise Rex rabbits. With the help of the Chinese government, millions of Rex rabbits were brought and distributed among locals. Every household became a small farm. This project continued for 10 years, and the entire area transformed. There was a time when nothing existed here except sand. Now it has become a lush green region. The total area of the Kibuki Desert is spread over 18,600 square kilometers, out of which, according to a UN report, 33%, or about 6,250 square kilometers, has turned green. This is the result of more than 30 years of effort. Because of this transformation, the Kibuki Desert is now known as an ecological marvel instead of the Sea of Death. But not only the environment changed here, people's lives also improved. The Chinese government invested 3 billion yuan here, which is about $400 million. With this money, new villages were built and new employment opportunities were created in the desert. Today, millions of acres of desert land provide livelihoods to people. More than 2,000 farms are operating, and 3 million Rex rabbits are sold every year. The average annual income of a farmer has reached 9,600, meaning those who once fled the desert are now becoming wealthy here. According to an estimate, the lives of 10,000 people have changed. In 2017, when media reporters visited this place, they saw that the environment had become 10 times better than before. Trees, grass, animals, and humans were all functioning in harmony. But one question must be coming to everyone's mind. If rabbits can turn deserts green, then why are they dangerous in Australia? Actually, before 1859, there were no rabbits in Australia. Then a British man released just 24 rabbits here, so their population would grow and later they could be hunted. After 70 years, their population increased so much that they went out of control. In Australia, rabbits live in their natural habitat, whereas in China, they are kept in a controlled environment. Only as much work is taken from them as benefits everyone. This is why rabbits are a curse in Australia, but a blessing in China. But the story of the Kibuki Desert does not end here. This is also where the world's largest solar power image was created, called the Junma Solar Power Plant. Spread across 6,000 acres, this plant consists of about 5 million solar panels arranged in the shape of a running horse when seen from space. According to Guinness World Records, it is the largest solar panel image in the world. By 2022, this plant had generated 2.3 billion kilowatts of energy. Through this, China saved 7,600 tons of coal and reduced 1.8 million tons of carbon dioxide emissions. But if you think this power plant only generates electricity, you are completely wrong. This plant also fights desertification. Sunlight does not reach under the panels. As a result, evaporation decreases and grass is grown there. And to cut this grass, Rex rabbits are also kept here. Rabbits eat the grass and also spread new seeds through their waste. In this way, not only desertification is reduced, But free energy is also produced, and rabbit fur is sold at high prices. Because of the panels, wind speed has reduced by up to 50%. Less sand is displaced, and gradually the land becomes fertile on its own. Today, if you visit the Kibuki Desert, you will see sheep, goats, ducks, and rabbits living together. There is grass under the panels and clusters of willow trees around. No one could have imagined that the Sea of Death would one day be called the Sea of Life. And all this started with the proper use of a small rabbit. Today, researchers around the world call this model an eco-economic revolution. According to a report, 50% of the world's area is desert, and 40% is facing desertification. Today, Europe and even America are trying to learn from China's eco-economic revolution. The message of the Kibuki Desert is clear. If humans and nature work together, even a sea of death can be turned into a garden of life. We hope you will like and share this video from Ancientgraphy. Thank you very much for your love and kind comments.